Most people are taught to fear debt. They are warned that borrowing is dangerous, that interest is the enemy, and that financial freedom comes only from avoiding loans entirely. And for the average person, that advice seems correct. Debt can be crushing. It can trap you, overwhelm you, and limit your choices. It can turn opportunity into stress. But the wealthy see debt differently. To them, debt is not a threat. It is a tool, a resource, a lever to create opportunities that would otherwise be impossible. The difference lies not in morality or luck, but in understanding. Rich people understand how money works. They understand interest, leverage, and risk. When a wealthy person takes on debt, it is strategic. They borrow to invest in assets that generate returns higher than the cost of the debt. They use it to expand businesses, acquire properties, or invest in markets where growth outpaces interest. This is called good debt. It is the opposite of the debt that traps most people. It is intentional, calculated, and designed to multiply wealth. Meanwhile, most people experience bad debt. Credit cards, personal loans, car loans, debt that does not generate income. It drains money quietly, accumulating interest and creating stress. It keeps people in a perpetual cycle of earning and repaying without progress. Rich people also understand timing. They don't borrow recklessly. They borrow when the market, the opportunity, and their strategy align. They know exactly how much they can leverage safely, and they rarely take on risk without a clear plan. Another reason the wealthy are unafraid of debt is financial literacy. They read the fine print. They calculate every interest rate, fee, and repayment schedule. They know how to structure debt to maximize benefits and minimize risk. For most people, fear comes from ignorance. They borrow blindly. They rely on minimum payments. They react to emergencies rather than plan for them. Debt in this context becomes terrifying. It feels uncontrollable because it is. The wealthy, however, treat debt as predictable. They understand exactly how it affects cash flow, taxes, and growth. They use it to accelerate progress instead of being slowed by it. Leverage is another reason debt is embraced. Money that isn't yours, when used strategically, allows you to control larger assets than you could with cash alone. It multiplies potential returns. It creates opportunities that cash alone cannot provide. This is why you often see rich people taking loans to invest in real estate, stocks, or businesses. They are not reckless. They are deliberate. The fear of debt is deeply ingrained in society because the system benefits from uninformed borrowers. Banks profit from high-interest consumers who do not understand how to structure loans or manage payments. Interest payments from the uninformed create predictable income streams for institutions. Meanwhile, those who understand debt benefit from a very system that traps others. They use the same tools, credit, loans, leverage, to grow wealth faster than they could with only their own capital. It's important to note that this does not mean debt is risk-free. All borrowing carries responsibility. The wealthy simply understand the difference between risk and opportunity. They know how to control it. They know when to say yes and when to say no. Fear keeps most people from ever taking action. It prevents them from exploring opportunities that could change their financial trajectory. It reinforces the cycle of stagnation. Understanding debt changes your relationship with money. It shifts your mindset from scarcity and fear to strategy and opportunity. It allows you to see borrowing not as a trap, but as a potential accelerator. The wealthy do not fear debt because they understand it, control it, and use it strategically. Most people fear it because they lack knowledge, experience, and guidance. Breaking free from this fear begins with education. Learning how debt works, how to calculate interest, and how to identify opportunities transforms anxiety into action. Once you see debt as a tool rather than a trap, your financial possibilities expand. You can take calculated risks. You can grow your wealth faster. You can leverage opportunities that would otherwise remain out of reach. The system will always create fear in the uninformed, but understanding debt allows you to move confidently within the system. It allows you to take control rather than being controlled. Fear is replaced by strategy. Stress is replaced by planning. And debt, once a source of worry, becomes a source of potential. This is why rich people don't fear debt. They understand it, they respect it, and they use it to build the wealth that most people only dream about. And when you adopt the same mindset, the rules that once held you back begin to work in your favor. Opportunities open up. Financial growth becomes achievable, and money stops feeling like a burden. The key is knowledge, strategy, and discipline. Once you have these, debt is no longer something to fear. It is a powerful tool for building the life you want. In the next video, I'll explain how credit scores quietly decide who wins, long before money even changes hands.